Welcome to the Grief Bully Podcast. I am your host, J.Nicole. Thank you for joining our weekly discussion around grief, mental health, and your overall personal wellness. The Grief Bully Podcast will serve as a vehicle to help you navigate life's journey. Be sure to subscribe, review, and share the podcast with anyone in your life that you think it will help. Let's bully grief together. What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of the Grief Bully Podcast. I am your host, J.Nicole. Guys, we're back in the building, rocking and rolling for another episode. Now, I know that you've heard of AI. It's everywhere. And what I want to put you game on today is how can AI, specifically for me, I deal with ChatGPT, and I want to show you how this tool, this resource, free resource might I add, could be a game changer when it comes to your healing, your progress, this journey. So, how can AI help you deal with your grief, your loss, your trauma, your issues, everything you're facing? I'm about to show you. So, I am going to use the talking part of it where I can actually talk to it, right? So I'm going to say an example of a conversation, right? Hey, I am 25 years old. I live in Lawnside, New Jersey, and I recently lost my father to cancer. He had lung cancer and it crept up on us pretty quickly. Next thing I know, I'm going in and out of hospitals, then he's in hospice, and then he unfortunately passed away. I actually had to get my father cremated as well, and to be completely honest with you, I'm still dealing with these issues. It's really hard to cope, and I don't feel like I have anyone to really talk to. I'm not totally, completely comfortable with talking to a therapist. I've never been before. I also am not really that much of a vulnerable person, so I don't feel that comfortable talking to family or friends or anything like that. I heard from the Grief Bully, who is the host of the Grief Bully podcast, that you, ChatGPT or AI, could possibly be a pocket companion, if you will, and a literal journal. But this journal, because of AI, actually talks back. All right, guys, so I wrote that prompt. Now I'm going to see what it says in terms of helping me. So I got one other thing I want to add to it. I forgot to give it the prompt. Please give me some feedback, some tactical next steps, or just a friend-to-friend conversation or advice to help me get through this week. I'm having a really tough time right now. All right, so I typed everything in. Now I hit send. And I'm going to read you what it says, but you see how the phone is moving. It's actually going this quickly. So we're going to see what it came up with. Okay. All right. So I hope that you're like, seriously, like I'm doing this because I realized that one night, and I'm just putting myself out there, I was having a tough time sleeping. And it's in the middle of the night, so it's not really anybody to talk to but God, and I did pray. But I felt like I wanted to hear like literal responses, like a two-way street, a call and response dialogue. So I use ChatGPT often in my professional life to help me with certain things. So I was like, well, let's just see. So I started writing what I was going through at the time and just asked for friend-to-friend feedback, conversation. And to my surprise, it wrote me back something that was pretty comforting. And then I wrote back. So I don't know how you feel about this, but I always want to try to give you some resources, some gems, something, anything that can help us on this journey, especially for people who aren't as open, don't feel as comfortable talking about their feelings and their emotions. Or maybe you did at one point, right? And if somebody burned you, they told you business or they crossed you in some way and it made you feel uncomfortable. So you became a little more reclusive, and that was the end of it. So now you keep everything close to the chest. Studies have shown, and people have often talked about how powerful journaling is, writing, communicating, outwardly expressing. And then, of course, we talked about therapy, but maybe you're not there. So just getting back to the response, though, keep us in here. I hope you're ready for this, like truly. And I'm reading it word for word, and I'm not making any adjustments. It says, I'm really sorry to hear about your loss. Coping with the death of a loved one, especially a parent, is incredibly challenging. Here are some steps and advice that might help you navigate this tough time. Acknowledge your feelings is number one. It's okay to feel a wide range of emotions, including sadness, anger, confusion, and even numbness. These feelings are all a natural part of the grieving process. Don't pressure yourself to feel a certain way or to move on too quickly. It's crazy, guys. And then number two, create a routine. Have a daily routine. Having a daily routine can provide a sense of stability and normalcy. Even small routines like a morning walk or a nightly reflection can help. And I already talks about journaling, which we already talked about. Engage in activities that you find relaxing. This could be anything from reading, watching movies, listening to music, physical activity, etc. Memorialize your father. Connect with support groups. And it's got paragraphs of things. Educate yourself about grief. I think that's really important. Understanding the stages of grief can help you. Here's some different resources on grief and moving on. Allow yourself to grieve. This one right here is clutch. And I've never saw these before. Trust me, I've never even told ChatGPT these prompts. There's no timeline for grief. Allow yourself to grieve at your own pace. It's okay to have good days and bad days. Be patient and compassionate with yourself. Express yourself creatively. Consider talking to a professional when ready. It gives resources. And then at the end. So that was more like tactical. Let's go like this. I'm going to tell it. I'm going to say it out loud. Thank you for the response. I don't want the tactical steps. I just really wanted to feel like I had somebody to talk to. Like I said, I'm not that comfortable talking. So the fact that I'm opening up to an artificial intelligence app is kind of silly and crazy, I guess, depending on how you look at it. Please just write me back in a comforting way. This could be a little bit out there, but maybe in more of a motherly, fatherly figure. After all, I am grieving a loss of my father. So like maybe you can just give me some advice as if you were giving me a pick your head up speech if you were my parent. All right, let's see what it says. Literally, I just hit the button and it starts to respond. Wow. Okay. So, hey there. I'm really sorry you're going through this. Losing a parent is one of the toughest things anyone can experience. And it's completely understandable that you're feeling overwhelmed right now. It's okay to feel lost and unsure of how to move forward. These emotions are all part of the grieving process. I want you to know that it's all right to take things one day at a time. You don't have to have everything figured out right now. Grief doesn't have a set timeline, and there's no right or wrong way to navigate it. Allow yourself to feel whatever comes up, whether it's sadness, anger, confusion, or even moments of peace. All these things are valid. Think of this moment as a heavy storm. It's dark and rough, but storms don't last forever. There will be days when the clouds part a little, and you'll start to see glimpses of light again. Hold on to those moments no matter how small they seem. Now, this is where it could get a little emotional, so be mindful with your prompts and what you're saying. Your dad's love and the memories you share with him are always going to be a part of you. Carry those memories with you. They can be a source of comfort and strength. It's also okay to talk to your dad in your own way. Whether it's through writing letters, thinking about him, or just speaking out loud, it can be a way to stay connected and process your feelings. Remember, it's not a sign of weakness to reach out for support when you need it. You don't have to go through this alone. Even if you're not ready to talk to a therapist, just letting someone know that you're struggling could be a huge step. You deserve to be heard and supported. Above all, be gentle with yourself. Grief is a heavy burden to carry, and you're doing your best. It's okay to lean on others and find moments of rest and peace where you can. Keep taking it one step at a time. You're stronger than you think, and your Father's love is with you every step of the way. If you ever need to talk, even if it's just to unload your thoughts, I'm here. Take care of yourself. Now, if you're not were not familiar with how ChatGPT works, how AI has worked right now, then your mind is probably like, psh. If you have some familiarity with it, then maybe you've utilized it in this way. Maybe you haven't, but it is something that is at your disposal. And this is the thing, right? Like you can say, okay, cool. Like you can Google that. You can, but Google will not allow you to have this specific response to your identical exact situation. So that's where I find the power. And it's no judgment. You don't have to worry about ChatGPT telling your business. And if your people are like, oh, they can take your information, you're not even saying your name or nothing like that. So there's nothing particularly personal about you where this could become a danger. I only see the upside. I only see the resource in it. And I've utilized it, not specifically for grief, but for other things. Like you could literally say this, like, let's try this really quickly. Because grief and loss, grief is deep sorrow. It's not just about death or losing loved ones. It could be something about something like this. Let's try this out. Hey, I am 34 years old. I'm a parent of 2 young children. I'm currently going through a separation from my husband. Things are tough, but we're still coexisting in the same house. I'm not really sure what to do, how to feel, but I am feeling like a failure because my marriage is not working out. I don't know how to handle things with my children. If you were my friend, someone who has known me for a long time, what advice would you give me in this situation as it pertains to maintaining the peace in my home, but feeling bad for my family breaking up? Okay, hitting the button again. It's loading. Let's see. It says, I'm really sorry you're going through this. And sometimes you just need to hear that. It sounds incredibly challenging. Validation, especially with young kids involved. Here's some advice, friend to friend, that might help you navigate the difficult times. They talk about open communication, focusing on your strengths, helping your children. It gives you like a lot of list of things. And the biggest thing is like, remember, it's okay to feel a mix of emotions. This is a big change, but with time, things can get better. You're doing the best you can, and that's more than enough. Stay strong, take it one day at a time. I'm here for you, and you're not alone in this. So this is the thing too. I mean, I guess I worry about delusion, for example, because, you know, you could talk to this thing and say whatever and just get validation for things that aren't accurate. So let's see that. Let's see what it says in that situation, right? Here we go. Let's see. I am really angry. I'm feeling fired up. I just got into an argument with a coworker. I feel like I can just go and maybe curse them out even more. Do you agree? Like, should I just go curse them out? Okay, so we do have some security here with our delusion. So it says, hey, I can really sense your frustration and anger right now. It's completely normal to feel fired up after an argument, especially if it felt unfair or unresolved. However, responding in the heat of the moment, like going back to curse them out, might not lead to the best outcome. Here are a few steps you can take to cool down and handle the situation more effectively. Take a break, step away, deep breathing, reflect, assess the situation. Think about what specifically triggered your anger. Was it something they said or did, or was it built up of multiple issues? Consider the consequences. Imagine a fallout from cursing them out further. It might feel satisfying in the moment, but could damage your professional relationship and potentially your reputation at work. Plan your response, seek mediation, practice self-care, all of these things. And I think we've pretty much driven the message home that AI, all of these things, they get bad raps. People talk about how they use them so much more in like a professional standpoint if you're in like a marketing world or, you know, trying to do all these different things like that. But we can use it in our healing journey. And I think that's pretty cool. I would really be curious to know if you watch this episode or you see this clip on social media somewhere, please let me know if you've tried it, if it's helped you out, and maybe a little bit of details if it's not too private or too juicy. Don't spill too much tea about yourself. But let me know your thoughts on it, and I will definitely chat back with you. Chat GPT, whatever. But yeah, I will definitely do that. Hope you don't not be too spooked out or feel a little bit crazy about it. But I'm glad we went there, and I definitely hope it helps you. This is a short one, but a sweet one. But I think it's going to be also probably one of the most impactful conversations that I've ever had, because it's showing you modern day technology and the fact that there's not that much room for excuses in terms of feeling so bottled and pent up, because we may put those obstacles, those limiting beliefs on ourselves, or just not allowing ourselves to expand, of course, due to comfortability and where we are in our lives. But this right here might unlock something for you, and I'm curious to hear about it. So let me know your thoughts. How did AI, artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, specifically also called OpenAI, help you combat your grief? Is it a pocket companion? Did it help you with your therapy? I don't know. Some therapists out there might come for me because they might say that. Actually, you know what? I'm going to show you something real quick before you go. So let's do it this way because I'm curious. I feel like I might get a little bit chewed up by therapists. So let's just change this now. You are an experienced divorce and trauma therapist. This is your specialization. You have over 25 years in this field. I am dealing with a potential divorce. I come to you for a first initial consult. What is some of the information that you would give me? Yeah, understanding your situation, emotional impact, counseling and support, going over the individual therapy, legal advice. It's so many things. So that's one of the things too, is that like you can talk to the prompt and really have it respond to you as a specific person with a specific criteria. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. I'm not trying to get into any hot water, any fire with anybody. All I'm trying to do is help my community, help my people on this journey, meet you where you are if you're not ready for therapy. Because again, therapists, I'm trying to get them there to see the benefits of releasing and open up and having this dialogue with someone or thing other than ourselves, so that we don't explode and we can heal better and continue to move on this journey. Drop a comment. Let me know if you're not following me over on Instagram. What are you doing? Go do that right now. I_am_J_Nicole, guys. So next time, you already know. Love and light. Peace.